Hey everybody, welcome to our all new video with Matt. Today we are going to be going over the different types of drywall hanger mounts, guys. These will be used for anything such as mounting stuff to your wall, such as like pictures, stuff like that. I don't recommend using any of these for a TV or something like that. You want to get a much stronger rated, but these are your different kinds. You got every kind from the kind that you drill the holes with, and then you insert the tabs, and then you screw your screw into that, and then it expands. We got the self-drilling kind right here, guys, like this right here, for example. We just drill that right into your sheetrock, and that becomes your stable base. Same thing with the plastic kind right here, and we got two different size toggle bolt kinds, right? So I built this little fake like mimic wall right here, as you can see, guys. It's got sheetrock right here in the middle, so we are going to be screwing them in from the front, and we're going to have a camera set up behind this so you can see what it looks like as it comes out, guys. So we're going to go through the different ones, so stick around. Here we go. Alright guys, so I put some marks right here so we can use as kind of like a guide while we're screwing them in. So the first ones we're going to start off with though is our lower rated ones, guys. Like these right here are for like picture frames you're going to hang on your wall. This could maybe be for like a small decoration or something that maybe weighs like less than a pound or two. And then you have these style kinds. Now these style kinds are rated for both masonry and sheetrock, guys, so you can make sure you get the right kinds when you're doing stuff. So if you're going into sheetrock, you would be fine with this, but if this wasn't rated for masonry and you needed to drill into a brick or something, then you wouldn't want to use that. So yeah, these right here are rated for both. So we're going to start with these three. Now these are the kind where you need to have a drill or an impact that has a drill capability like this right here, and you want to find around that size. Most of the time they're going to be like 1/4 inch or less or something like that. So you can see, just take the smaller rated one out first. Go ahead and take the screw out, so you can see that's right there. We're going to drill a hole right here first, and then we're going to plug it, right? So let me show you how that works, just like this from the front view, and then we'll take a round look at the back of it, right? So here we go. I'm just going to drill a hole into the sheetrock, just like that. And I'm going to stick it up there. Now this bit's just a little bit smaller right there, so just going to round it out just a hair. Alright, so now that you got your hole right there, guys, let me go ahead and zoom in on that for you. What you want to do is you'll take your thing right here, just like that. You'll stick it down in there. And if it's still not too big, you can always just take a hammer, and you want to easily now just kind of tap that easily. You don't want to smash your sheetrock or nothing. You just want to give it some nice little taps. Just like that, guys. So that right there is in place. So then when you put your screw in it, that's actually going to be what locks it in place. So let's go ahead and shoot a screw into it right now. So here we go. And also, now you don't have to use a washer. You don't have to, right? But say for example you're going to hang a picture that's got like a wire or something. You want to leave it sticking out about that much to give it some room to hang on. So you necessarily wouldn't need a washer. Now if you're mounting something that's got a little bit of weight to it though, I always recommend to use a washer, guys. So then you just take your screw, cinch that down just like that right there, guys. So that right there is now mounted nice and tight to the sheetrock. Alright, and for our other next two that we have, guys, are going to be the same way. They just have different size ratings. Like, I believe this one is rated for around like a 6 or 7 pound object, maybe like a shelf or something that's going to hold some items. But same concept, guys. You got to take your drill bit, got to get your holes lined up wherever you got them to put into the sheetrock. just like that. Do the same thing. You want to push it in as far as you can with your thumb, and sometimes you get it dead on. You can go ahead and put it out, but like I do with my trusty hammer. Just want to give that a little tap. Get it nice and flush with the sheetrock, just like that. Then we'll switch over to our Phillips bit and do the exact same thing with the screw, guys. Just like this. And a washer. Alright, so that was how that one went in right there. So now we are going to go ahead and do this one right here. Same concept. And then we switch back over to our Phillips. And you don't have to have the impact driver for this step there. You can use a like hand screwdriver to put these screws in, but you really want to make sure that you get it in and drilled your hole correctly, guys, because that's what it really comes down to, is drilling that hole out for those to sit into. Alright, so that one's now in place, locked down to the wall. So now let's take a look at the back side for both of these types. Alright guys, so next up we have what is called like a self-tapping right here, guys. As you can see, it's got this little spike point right there. Now they can be flimsy sometimes, so don't get careless with these kind, right? But what you need to really do with these right here is, they say, you know, they're made to be like where you put your point on where you want to put it, right? And you can kind of just get it kind of started in there. Just like that right there, guys. Right now, you do not have to have an impact gun to drive this into the sheetrock. You can do it by hand, but it's so much easier to use an impact gun when it comes to these self-drilling kind. But I'll go ahead and fair warn you now, with these plastic kind, you want to kind of take it easy, or it'll melt out the tip right here of it, and it pretty much makes it useless, right? So when the screw goes into this tip, it also expands these little anchors right here that you can see, guys. So let's go ahead and give that a shot right there for the camera. See how that works. And like I said, when you're using an impact gun, it makes it easier, but you want to go just a little bit slower to make sure that you get it started in your sheetrock, right? So what it's doing right now is it's digging out kind of like a self-tapping screw that you would have on metal, right? Just want to keep it nice and straight. And now once it's gone through that main layer right there, you don't want to wiggle it around or nothing. You just want to slowly tighten it down just like that, nice and flush. If it does peel up a little bit of paper right there when you cinch it down, that's going to be all right. No harm, no foul. So as you can see, that is now cinched down just like that. And then what we will do is take our washer and screw, line it in the hole just like that. All right, so that one's now cinched down nice and tight. So let's go ahead and check out the back side of that. Alright, so next up is one of my favorite ones to use, guys, especially when it comes to hanging just a slightly heavier objects. I like these zinc-plated self-drilling kind, guys. These things work awesome, especially if you forgot your drill bits. Now, most of the time when you buy, like, the rest of the kinds that we've used, guys, you can usually get lucky and they'll include a drill bit that's just for those holes and stuff, but just in case you don't have them on hand or something, these make great. And I like these because they got that metal like body, you know, it's made out of metal and it's just a lot sturdier. Like the plastic kind that you just saw, it's nice and cinched down. They work great, but I have had them where they've burned up on me before, and I actually needed those last 3 in the pack to finish the job up, you know, and sometimes they burn up when you're trying to get them in the sheetrock. But these metal ones, you don't gotta really worry about it. You can see they got like spikes and barbs on it and stuff, guys. Super easy. Like, again, with these kind right here, you can like get it started in there pretty good and use a regular screwdriver, but of course we got an impact gun, we're going to use it, guys. So here we go. You just line it up, keep it nice and flat. You don't want to go crazy fast too, because it can spin out a lot of the dust everywhere and stuff. You just want to kind of go slow with it, just like this. Watch this. Then once you get it real tight in right there, just and then make sure you want to get it flat, just like that, guys. Look at that. That right there is a heavy duty hanging right there. So let's go and put a washer or screw. Alright, and these are a little bit tighter, but they make it so much stronger. You can tell, like, it put some force on that washer right there, guys. So now we can go ahead and check out the back side of that one. Alright, and for the last two, but definitely not the least, we have these toggle styles right here, guys. So these toggle styles, as you can see, basically looks like this when it goes through the wall, and it locks to the sheetrock like that. And then when you tighten your bolt with a washer down, you gotta make sure you put a washer on there, or you can just go right up against the sheetrock, but I recommend putting your own washers on here like I'm gonna do, guys. So yeah, basically what you want to do with these right here is you just want to fold that clip in just like that. All right, you want to make sure it looks like an alligator is about to bite your finger off. All right, you want to put your center mark right there where you like it, right? And what I like to do is just take me a little pencil and kind of trace out the little outline of this, right? Just like that right there. So now you can either just go and find you a drill bit that's that size right there, and that's going to be a big bit right there, guys. Or you can just use a smaller drill bit and just kind of round it out. Start in the middle, just like that. Go up to your line, kind of trace it out just like that. Kind of like you're using a scroll saw, but with a you know, impact gun. Just like that. Alright, so got a little hole right here now, guys, right? So now what we can do is we're going to put a washer on our bolt just like that, our toggle bolt. We're going to line it up like that. Remember, like alligator trying to bite your finger off. We'll go ahead and get that started. in that hole. So there you go. That's what that looks like, guys. So go ahead and fold that up just like that. Get it backed out just a hair. And then what we're going to do is going to stick it in there, push it until it goes like that. Alright, so now the little teeth on the alligator is opened up and facing towards the wall. Now we can go ahead and cinch that down. You just want to hold it like that, kind of. Get it coming down. There you go, just like that right there. So let's take a look at the back of that one. Alright, and our last toggle bolt right here is just a slightly smaller version of the large one that we did right here, guys. Again, you don't have to trace it out. You can just kind of give it a good smash with your hammer. I've seen people do it like that. But like I said, I like to just trace out just a little bit of it. About like that right there is perfect. And like I said, I just use a drill bit, kind of like a scroll saw. If you don't have that size bit on hand, I do have these size bits out in my shed, but it is pouring rain right now, guys. So that's why I'm just going to use it like this, and to show you that you don't always have to have the perfect tool for the job every time. But yeah, so little hole just like that right there. Again, same concept. You want to make it look like the alligator is trying to bite your finger off. Put your washer on there, guys. Back it out just a hair. Go ahead and put that in. Alright, and if you didn't cut out enough, what you can do is just give it a nice smack with your hammer. And it'll go right on in just like that. You can hear the teeth open up inside when it goes in. You can hear it just click against there. And again, you want to hold that up against your thing. And you can use, like I said, you don't have to have an impact gun. You can just tighten it up by hand and with a hand screwdriver, just like this. Just want to keep it pulled nice and tight. Eventually it's going to catch against the sheetrock, guys, and then you'll just be able to keep screwing it on down with no problem. Just like that. And then take your screwdriver and tighten it down the rest of the way. Alright guys, so here is a back view of all of the different options that we tried, and as you can see, you can tell why they got different ratings, and excuse all the sheetrock dust on my fingers, but you'll have that when you're working with sheetrock. But yeah, so like we started with a very low grade weighted, worked our way up a little sturdier, a little bit heavier graded, and we moved into these self tappers right here. Now these plastic ones, I mean, they're okay for what they are, but I'm just not a big fan of those kind. But I love the zinc plated kind right here, guys. And then you have your toggle bolts, guys. And these toggle bolts, They can hold a lot of weight on there for it to be just a blank sheetrock. Now, if anything, you're going to hang something real heavy, it's always best to find these studs in your wall, guys. But these are options in case you don't have a stud where you need to hang something. And that seems to be the case with a lot of people. That's why they make a wonderful line of products just like this. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Be sure to hit that like button down below for me and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next video that we get around to making. So have a wonderful week ahead. Peace.